hand-built in England. It sounds cool, and it sure looks great on a door sill plate.
But what can you expect if you actually buy an Aston Martin DB11 that's built by hand in England?
Well, there's all sorts of esoterica. The interior door handles are a weird arrow shape. The seat controls sit next to your inboard thigh. There's no exterior trunk release. Believe me, I looked. From the driver's seat, the steering wheel is angled slightly to the left. In familiar Aston fashion, the doors rise as they open. The turn signals sound oddly muffled. And with a keen eye, you can spot several bits nicked from Mercedes-Benz, including the infotainment interface and this box in the trunk that actually says Mercedes-Benz on it. But really, the first thing you'll notice after buying a DB11 is increased attention from strangers. From the tasteful Aston grille, past the curly Q fender treatment, along the flowing roof strakes, through the blacked-out C-pillar, the DB11 looks like nothing else, earning it plentiful praise.
Which is why when I say I prefer the DB9's cleaner, more graceful shape, it feels positively sacrilegious. What can I say? There's no accounting for taste.
Aesthetic preferences aside, there's no question the DB11's design is downright functional. Concealed vents in these side strakes release high-pressure air from the wheel arches, reducing front-end lift. A stretched greenhouse provides surprisingly good outward visibility, and the deck lid employs a quote-unquote air blade virtual spoiler.
Basically, air comes in here and is ducted through the bodywork and is ejected here, where it interacts with air that's coming over the roofline to unleash the Wizard of Downforce, or something like that. I don't know, I'm not an aerodynamicist. Push the center-mounted engine start button, and the 5.2-liter twin-turbocharged V12 springs to life, settling into one of the smoothest idles I've experienced. Not that we're going to spend that much time idling. In a tick less than 4 seconds, the V12 can drag you from motionless to 60 miles per hour and reach to a 200 mile per hour top speed, depending on your willingness to press the throttle and your luck. And I'm tapping out. I got a lot to live for.
Ushering all that power to the limited slip differential and eventually the rear wheels is an excellent 8-speed automatic transmission that shifts quickly enough you might think it's a dual clutch. Controls are a push-button affair with manual operation activated via metal paddle shifters. Left for downshifts, right for upshifts. Hold the up paddle and you're back to automatic mode. Simple. The DB11 utilizes an advanced bonded aluminum platform featuring something called hot form quenched aluminum. Cool, but the listed dry weight is still a hefty 3,900 pounds. In practice, though, that heft doesn't ruin the party.
The DB11 succeeds in large part because of an adaptive 3-mode suspension. In GT mode, it truly is grand touring smooth. As your drive gets more serious, just use this steering wheel mounted button to stiffen the dampers, Sport mode for fun, or Sport Plus mode if there's money on the line.
There's a similar button on the right side of the steering wheel to manage powertrain settings. Again, GT mode equals calm and refined throttle and transmission behavior. Press the button a time or two, and the coupe's demeanor changes from reserved to raucous.
Even in its sportier settings, this thing's totally usable in the streets. The gear changes aren't needlessly harsh just to create an impression of raciness. Same thing with the suspension. The DB11 has multiple personalities, and for the most part, I like them all.
She'll cruise calmly, cocooning occupants in relative silence, and she dominates corners so effortlessly, the velocity is sometimes shocking. The Aston Martin DB11 really is a coupe for all occasions.
Amid all that flowery praise, there are some quirks. While steady on center, the steering wheel's quick ratio can make cornering feel a little bit nervous. You nervous?
There's also a fuel-saving engine start-stop feature that, if so inspired, you'll need to deactivate every time you press the start button. And unless you've trained your foot well, it can be hard to modulate the touchy brakes.
But really the biggest challenge as a driver is managing the non-linear throttle response. Even with 12 cylinders of fury, there is a lag then surge tendency when you roll on the throttle, which is exhilarating in a straight line and eye-opening in the corners.
Unless you're some hood-riding TJ Hooker type, you'll experience the DB11 from inside its cabin, which is gorgeous. Flowing lines, intricate surfacing, and a headliner to match, the interior feels special, but again, it has its quirks.
I nearly broke the center armrest the first time I got in until I realized it was powered. Also, while there are clearly 4 seats, this ain't no 4-seater. Oh, God. Oh. If you stake out a spot up front, though, comfort and support will be your reward. In fact, these seats, oh God, might be the first ones I've experienced that actually exceed my need for lumbar support. A grand achievement indeed.
Less impressive are center vents that cannot cool anything lower than your head, and a muddled dash layout featuring capacitive controls that visually blend together, creating a hunt and peck experience for unfamiliar DB11 drivers. Otherwise, the comfortable, beautiful, and well-appointed DB11 is generally well-suited to its role as a grand tourer. A 9.5 cubic foot trunk is not vast, but it does have a couple of secret stash nooks, and, let's be honest, you're not putting people in these seats, so luggage space really isn't an issue. Supporting the DB's long-haul talents are nifty standards like front and rear parking sensors, a 360 camera system, dual-zone climate control, vast swaths of leather, and an 8-inch infotainment system. Simpletons like me can get by just fine with a stock DB11, but fancier types might spring for ventilated seats, this optional touchpad with gesture controls, the previously mentioned powered armrest, a vast range of interior and exterior customization options, and a 1000-watt Bang & Olufsen audio system.
On second thought, I would definitely spring for that Bang & Olufsen audio system.
What you won't find on the option sheet are dynamic cruise control, forward collision alert, or lane keep assist. Features so advanced, they're reserved for lofty sleds like this Toyota Corolla. The DB11's nearly $215,000 base price, which includes a $2,825 destination charge but no gas guzzler tax, you could buy some lovely indulgences. But if you want to stay in the automotive sphere, consider the Ferrari California T, which boasts a retractable hardtop and a lower price tag, but also comes saddled with the title Entry-Level Ferrari. The Bentley Continental GT is another talented grand tourer that is both rapid and rapidly approaching the end of its life cycle. For more practical touring, the quicker and cheaper Porsche Panamera Turbo might do, or hey, how about the Lexus LC500? It's way cheaper than the Aston, it tours and sports like a champ, it's backed by Lexus's legendary reliability, and to some eyes, it looks loads better. All that said, buying a 6-figure grand touring coupe is an inherently irrational act.
Me, I'd buy an LC500 and a used Cessna. But for some people, a handcrafted English bombshell is the absolute pinnacle. If you're an automotive Anglophile, congrats! The Aston Martin DB11 is a thrilling, refined, character-rich winner.
Oi, shove off.